Hi everyone, and welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to continue modeling the details for the buildings. So, let's begin. So, this is where we left last time, and now we are going to work on the second floor. So, let's make a copy of the third floor, and let's just move this copy to the second floor. And all we have to do now is just to change the size of these windows so they fit on the new ones. So, let's do that. And we can come to the perspective view to make sure that everything is okay and to see better which windows we have to modify. And we only have to modify the first set of windows, which is this one that I have selected. So we're going to start changing the size just using this scale tool. So first, let's change the axis, place it on top of these windows. And now we can scale up these windows. So we're going to take all of those details and we're going to move them down. So let's first make sure that all of these objects are on the correct group. So now that they are arranged, we can take the whole thing and just move it down to the base of these doors. And now we're going to select these tubes that make these arches, and we're going to change the size so they go all the way to the bottom of this balcony. So let's go to the point mode, and here we're going to take those points and just move them down. Okay, and now we're going to find the other arch, and we're going to do the same. Just select those points and move them down, and do the same to this part on the middle. And now we are okay. So we can now come to the perspective view and see everything. And here we're going to take those edges and we're going to use the edge cut tool to make some divisions. Okay, that's okay. And now we're going to do the same to this other arch. And of course we have to do the same to the other one. But first, let's rename these. And now let's just select this and make the cuts. And now it is all good. So we are finished with this part. And now let's rename this group to second floor. Okay. So now we can see that we have to modify some of the structure of this building. So let's come to the front view, and here we're going to select those points there, and we're just going to move them like that. And now we're going to take the rectangle selection tool, select all of these points and move them down like that. So now this part is finished, and we can come to the perspective view to make sure that everything is all right. And now we can make a quick render, and it looks really nice. So we can now continue. So let's select this building O3, and now we are going to cut those polygons at the top. So using the knife and setting the mode to loop, we're going to cut those polygons there, and we can move this edge if we don't like it. So let's select all of the points and just move it a little bit, and now we can just take a look. So we can now select those polygons, but make sure that the only select visible elements option is turned on, and let's deselect those at the bottom. And now we're going to make an extrusion. So I'll just make that extrusion and another one like that. So this looks very good. And now we can come to the front view, and we're going to select this building O1, and we're going to make an extrusion on this building as well. So we're going to do the same. So using the knife tool, we're going to cut those polygons, and now let's come to the perspective view, and here we are going to select those polygons and deselect the ones at the bottom. And now we're going to make those extrusions. Okay, so this looks very nice. And we can move this a little bit more. Okay, so now let's close all of these groups and let's make a quick render. And now we're going to modify some of these arches because they look exactly the same as the ones that we have on the third floor. So we're going to delete those parts at the bottom, and we're going to make these arches a little bit different. So let's just take this and delete it, and we're going to do the same with this one, and we're going to do the same with this one here. So just select it and delete it. And now to make this easier, we're going to hide this building O3. So let's just hide it. And now we're going to close those holes there. So let's select this arch and we're going to close this hole. So using this close polygon hole, we're going to just close it. And now using the knife tool on the line mode, we're going to cut that polygon so it doesn't have any endgones. And we're going to do the same with this other part. So let's just select this other one, close it, and using the knife tool, we're going to cut there so we don't have any endgones. And we're going to do the same with this other part. So just close it and cut that polygon. Okay. So now this is okay. And now let's come to the front view. And here let's turn on the visibility for this building. And we are going to take those points at the bottom and just move them down. But make sure that you are selecting all of the points. So now just move them down like that. And we're going to now cut these polygons. Okay. So using the knife tool, we're going to cut them. Make sure that you cut all of the polygons. Now we're going to take those polygons and just move them to the left. Like that. Okay, so now these arches are a little bit different than the ones on the third floor. And we're going to do the same to these ones. So let's come to the front view and let's select those points. So first select the arch. Now select the points, move them down like that. So now using the knife tool, we're going to cut them all. And here we're going to close those polygons and cut them like we did before. And now we're going to select those polygons, extrude, and make sure that we're not selecting anything else, only those two polygons. Extrude them. And now we're going to take those, delete them. Let's hide this building so we can see better. And now select those two polygons, delete them, and we're going to connect the different points. So this is only one object. So let's select those points and using the weld tool, we're going to weld them together. Just like that. Okay, so now let's do the last one. And now this is only one piece. And with the other one, we couldn't do this in one piece because it was three different pieces. But for this one, we can do it with one piece. And now we're going to make some divisions on those edges. And now this is finished. So we're going to delete this other one and copy this one that is finished and just rename it and move it to the right and place it on the other window. So let's just take this one, come to the front view, and here we're going to just move it to the right. And this way we don't have to do everything over again. It's easier just to copy and paste. Okay, so now these are different than the other ones. You can see that the ones on the second floor look different to the ones on the third floor, and that is going to be much better. Otherwise, this would look only like a copy. So now we can make a quick render, and you can see that they look really nice. So let's just continue. And now we're going to make a plane, which is going to be the base for the windows on the first floor. And just rotate it. And let's come to the front view. And here we're going to place this new plane and scale it to fit the size of this window. And let's just make sure that this is the size of this hole. And just a little bit more. So now let's come to the properties and let's change the segments. And Let's get closer and let's push it a little bit. Okay, that looks good. So now we're good to continue. And we're going to take this polygon and make an inner extrusion like that. And another one. Okay, so now we are going to take this and scale it up a little bit. And now let's take this polygon and we're going to delete it. So this is going to be the frame, but first let's make a copy. So this is going to be the window frame. Okay, rename it. And here this is going to be the glass. So we can now take this polygon and delete it. And we're going to modify these edges. We're going to make some divisions. So using the edge cut tool, we're going to make 3 divisions. Okay, that looks very nice. And now we're going to make some extrusions. So let's select all of the faces and make sure that the create caps option is turned on. And we're going to extrude these faces to give some volume to this window frame. And now let's play with the shape. I don't really like that, so let's go back and let's select some polygons using the loop selection tool. Select all of those polygons and let's make an extrusion. Not really, so let's go back and let's move it. I don't really like that, so let's play with this a little bit. And now let's get rid of these points that we don't need. Okay, so that's going to be the glass. Just push it a little bit. Okay. And let's give it some volume like that. Now let's go back to our window frame and here let's make an extrusion like that. Make sure that the create caps option is turned off and that should work. And place both of these objects on a new group and rename it to window. So now we can come to the front view, make a copy of this new window, just rename this to window A and window B, and just place this new window on the right and just make sure that it fits. So just scale it up a little bit. And now we can come to the perspective view and push this a little bit. And now they are good. Let's make a quick render and I like the way they look, so we're going to leave them like that. Let's make a copy of one of these windows and let's rename it to door. And we're going to use this to make a new door. So let's move this to the left and we're going to make this a little bit smaller. And move it to the top. And this is going to be the top part of the new door. And now we are going to take some of the points and modify this shape because now it looks like it is scaled and it doesn't look good. So we're going to take these points and just move them to the left a little bit. And let's take these other ones, those, and just move them to the right. And that looks better. And maybe just a little bit more with these ones and also these other ones, like that. Okay, so now this is good, and we can come to the perspective view and make sure that it looks all right, and we can modify the glass. Okay, and just pull it a little bit. And now let's take the whole thing, the whole group, select it and pull it just a tiny bit, like that. That looks better. Now we can see that this looks really nice. And now we're going to duplicate this and move it down. Okay, and here on the front view, we're going to take some of these points and move them. So let's place this just below the other one. Select the window frame and select all of these points and just move them all the way to the bottom. Good. Now take the rest of the points and move them down. And using the scale tool, we're going to spread them like that. And just place them there in the middle. Okay, so now we're going to work with the glass. So let's take this object and let's move these points down. And let's just delete this one and use the one that we have on the other window. So we're going to duplicate the other glass. So just make a copy of that one and move it down. So just scale this up and make sure that it fits on this new frame. Okay. And now we're going to take this polygon and select this face and make an extrusion. And let's hide the whole building. And let's make sure that both of these glasses are extruded so they are thick. Okay, so they are good. And now this door is finished. So we can make visible again this building. And now we're going to take both parts, place them inside a new null object and rename it to door A, and duplicate this group, rename it to door B, and move it to the right. So we're going to recycle this door and use it for this new door. So just resize it and make sure that it fits. And we have to make it a little bit bigger. So we're just going to make it fit there. And when we're finished, we can just come to the perspective view and make sure that everything looks good. Make a quick render. And now these doors are finished. So that is looking very nice. We can make a render of the full scene, and we're done a great job. So select all of these elements, place them inside a new group, and rename the whole group to first floor, and put this first floor inside of this building O3 group just to have everything organized. And now we're going to make another backup. And even if I will not show that I'm doing the backups, I will be keep on making the backups. But just to save time, this is the last time that I'm going to show you when I do the backup. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first thing that we have to do is go ahead and save the file. And now we're going to close it. Go back to our Finder and select our file and copy the file. Go to the C4D backups and paste the file. And we're going to copy this name. So we're just going to rename it and copy the whole name and paste it on this new document and just change the 122. So now we have two different backups, and if anything happens to our file, we can start working from some point and not from the beginning. So I repeat, this is the last time that I'm showing you making the backups, but I expect that you keep on doing the backups at different stages of this project. So this is all for this part of the tutorial, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.